Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nuran Academy, we're going to discuss the architecture of sincerity, that crucial synergy between our intention and our systems. If you benefit from this explainer, please do support us by subscribing and sharing it as a sadaqah. Okay, let's dive into this.
We hear this all the time. Maybe we even tell it to ourselves. It's this really common and, let's be honest, comforting belief that just having a pure heart is all we need to get a righteous outcome. We feel that rush of inspiration, that spiritual high, and we just assume that feeling alone is going to carry us all the way to the finish line.
But here's the thing. Good intentions are the starting point of the journey, not the entire journey itself. And this is where we see a huge difference in approach. Modern culture often tells us to chase feelings, to rely on motivation, on inspiration. But feelings, as we all know, they rise and they fall. Islam teaches us a much more robust, a more merciful method to build systems that last.
To really get this, let's just define what we're talking about, starting with the very heart of the matter, Niyyah. Now, this is so much more than just a simple intention. It's a profound spiritual act. It's about aligning our entire purpose, purifying our direction for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for Him alone. It is the sacred why that breathes life into everything we do.
So, how do we protect that sacred why? That's where systems come in. Think of these as the practical frameworks, the routines, the habits we consciously build. Their whole job is to act as a fortress for our consistency, to remove the friction that makes doing good things feel so hard, especially on those days when we just don't feel inspired.
And when you bring these two powerful elements together, you get this beautiful, powerful formula. A pure niyyah, which is our spiritual engine, combined with well-designed systems, our practical framework, leads to what we can call sustainable excellence. This is the real key to turning those fleeting moments of high faith into a consistent, meaningful life of worship.
Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, right? But how does this synergy really, truly work in our day-to-day lives? To make this crystal clear, let's walk through a simple, but I think very powerful analogy to see how these two forces interact.
First, I want you to imagine your sincere intention, your niyyah, as a huge, vast, powerful body of water. It's just sitting there, holding this immense potential, this quiet energy that is capable of transforming entire landscapes. It's a spiritual force of nature. But what happens to all that water if it doesn't have any channels to guide it? Well, that immense power just floods. It scatters in every direction, becoming shallow, chaotic, and ultimately, its incredible transformative potential is completely lost. An intention without a system is like a river without banks. It just creates a mess. It doesn't create life. And this perfectly illustrates the role of systems. They are the channels. When you take the time to build these channels, these daily routines for prayer, for seeking knowledge, for giving charity, that same power of your intention gets focused. It's guided. It begins to irrigate your life, nurture your spiritual growth, and bring incredible benefit to you and everyone around you.
You see, this disciplined mindset, this architecture of sincerity, it yields amazing spiritual fruits. It helps you build consistency without the burnout. It gives you focus in a world that is literally designed for chaos and distraction. It allows for steady, real progress without that constant nagging feeling of pressure. And ultimately, it cultivates excellence with a heart that is truly at peace.
Now, to get there, we have to completely reframe how we think about discipline. The world often tells us that structure is a restriction, that it's a cage that limits our freedom. But the Islamic view is the complete opposite. It sees structure as a form of divine protection. It's a fortress that we build around our most precious asset, our niyyah. So these protective systems, these routines, they aren't there to hold you back at all. It's the contrary, really. They free the mind. By putting righteous habits on autopilot, you actually liberate your mental and spiritual energy from the constant weight of making decisions, which allows you to focus on much deeper connection and much higher goals. So, here is the practical takeaway. Let's all try to make a very conscious shift in the questions we ask ourselves. Starting today, let's stop asking how motivated do I feel right now. That question just ties our worship to the shifting sands of our emotions. Instead, let's start asking, what system can I design that will carry me forward even on the hard days? That is the question that builds real spiritual resilience. And we have to remember, this isn't just about being more productive in our faith. It's about our ultimate accountability. We built these systems because one day we will all stand before Allah, subhanallah, a'udhu billah, and on that day our intentions will of course be weighed.
but they will be weighed in the context of how well we guarded them, how diligently we built the structures needed to protect that sincerity from being worn down by laziness, distraction, and despair.
So, the crucial point, the single idea that holds this entire explainer together, is this simple but incredibly profound truth. Sincere hearts need strong systems.
Presented and created by Neuron Studio.